The city of Hagerstown could see another glimmer of hope when it comes to its revitalization efforts as the downtown education project is starting to gain funding and strength. Jim, what do you think the results of this project will be?
You know, I don't know, but I think it's a great project. I think that BISFA and the university systems in Maryland have been a coup for the city, for downtown, for many reasons. Not just the fact that we bring people downtown to attend classes or to teach or work, but also I think you're going to change the perception over time, because we all feel some level of affection for our alma mater from our high school, and we're now creating people that their educational, their alma mater is downtown Hagerstown, University of Maryland.
That's where they're making memories.
They are making memories there, and it's going to be great for them over time, I think, to come back and to remember and to visit some of the old locations that they may have visited, like some of the restaurants that exist today. And then also, by the way, while they're down there, maybe there'll be some new restaurants or some new stores open. So I think from that perspective, minimally, we're going to see a lot from this. And I also, quite frankly, am confident that that Dr. Wilcox and the school board will continue to press this and continue to make it a success story.
I'm happy to finally see some teamwork here. I think it was a few weeks ago on the show we were talking about how there's sort of collaboration between the downtown movement and the Downtown Alliance and Main Street Hagerstown, and now we're seeing that on the sort of political level, or with our elected officials. The school boards kind of, well, they've always been on board, but more seriously on board now. The county commissioners have kind of come around, and I think that it's going to just go forward and be successful, and anything that we can do to revitalize the downtown area I think is great. There's always going to be an element of risk when you are spending a sum of money like that, but I think that we're ready for that, and something big needs to be done. And
go big or go home.
Exactly. I agree.
Well, I've been a member of the Hagerstown community for over 40 years, and I've seen this plan and that plan and this plan. We do all these studies and we never enact them. But today I have a different opinion, partially because of the success that Biff's shown us of getting down there, getting in the trenches, developing a good working model. The fact that we have UMUC downtown, they're expanding. We're looking to move more Board of Education classes downtown, expand on that. We have successful, vibrant restaurants that are not Snow White Grill, okay?
I like the Snow White Grill, by the way.
Well, there was a time, there was a place for everything.
I don't know what the Snow White Grill is.
Oh, you missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. But or walking into the counter at People's to get a milkshake or something. Okay, we're both dating ourselves here, but
don't forget the Majestic.
How can we forget it? Okay.
Okay, move
All right,
on.
moving on. Oh, or the Sanders Cookie Jar that was downtown, but
I do know what that is.
Okay, but talking about
everybody under 40 can turn the sound back up now.
Yeah, okay, there we go. But we're starting to see some foot traffic down there. We're doing some of the right steps. It's slow progress, but Rome wasn't built in a day. And I think over the last several administrations that we've had presiding over Hagerstown, and with some light bulbs starting to click on over the heads of some of our county commissioners, okay, that we're starting to see some effort to try to build Hagerstown. Because if Hagerstown is thriving and successful, it will permeate throughout our entire community. And so I think we're starting to see some stuff that is really positive. Are we there? No. Will we be there in 2 or 3 years? Probably not. Over a period of 5 to 10 years, I would love to see us have some kind of vibrancy that Frederick, enjoyed through the 1990s.
So I got to say that from my perspective, I'm not sure that and I might be reading your comments wrong, but I'm not sure I see the county as the people that were stonewalling this. Because quite frankly, I know Greg Murray particularly, who leads the county efforts from the non-political side, has been on board and recognizes the importance the city plays to Washington County. I think that what they've been waiting for is some kind of reasonable plan and an executable plan that they could get on board with. And I think they're starting to see that now. When the county did that major study that Stu Mullendorf voluntarily managed over a period of 6 months or whatever, it wasn't just a county study. The city played a huge part in that, and that's because the county invited them to play a huge part in it. And from my perspective, I don't know that I would say that the county's been stonewalling on that.
Well, I don't necessarily, I wouldn't use the word stonewalling.
They've been reluctant.
Less enthused.
But-
And I'm talking about more the elected officials versus some of the people who are, employed by the county. We can look at a former county commissioner and some of his opposition to getting stuff to move downtown for the Board of Ed. Those are some things that it gives you, they're not passionate about building the downtown, and because there's a lot of needs in the Washington County community.
Are they not passionate about building the downtown, or they just haven't seen something that they think will work? If I'm going to buy a car and you bring a Yugo in front of me, I'm not going to be real passionate or enthused about
Okay, for
buying.
those that are below the age of 40, you
here
might
we
want to
go
turn the
again.
TV down for a minute or two. No, but if I'm bringing you a Yugo, you're not going to buy it. But some of these plans that we've had over the past several years, last decade or more, they've had some glimmers of hope. You have to present something and then work from it. How many studies do we want to continue to invest in?
I completely agree with that.
You have to pull the trigger and execute something.
And unfortunately, this is an election year, so in November, this could all change again, and we could be back to square one.
Yep.
Because we were going to do a stadium, and we were well on the way to that, and then this current administration came in and put the kibosh to that. Now most of them are for a stadium, by the way.
Oh man, what I think is interesting is that a few months ago, when it was the academic hub discussion was just extremely contentious, voters, students, parents, they turned out in numbers to board meetings to advocate on behalf of BISFA, and they showed up at different meetings and they wrote letters to the editor, and it was really neat to see democracy in action a little bit, because at that time it seemed like, again, I wouldn't use the word stonewalling, but there were a few county commissioners who may have been reluctant because it was going to be a lot of money and there was a risk associated with it, and there are other needs in the county that were being brought to the forefront, and some of the county commissioners were thinking, okay, do we really want to spend this millions and millions of dollars on the downtown area when Clear Spring High School or another high school needs a new roof or something like that? So I think that a really key piece in all of this was that students and parents turned out and they made their voices heard, and that was really exciting, I thought. If you remember back in November, and I have to commend Dr. Wilcox too for his leadership, because back in November he said, let's pause, let's wait until the study's conducted, let's kind of just take a breath here, and I really have to commend him for leading the board in that way, because I thought it wasn't the right time, but now I think we're all ready. I think we're all on the same page, and I think everyone's ready to move forward.
So, there are many other municipalities in Washington County other than Hagerstown. And one of the things that I guess at some level I think about is, are we ignoring Hancock? Are we ignoring Clear Spring?
Right.
Are we ignoring Smithsburg, Williamsport, Boonesboro, all of those other municipalities, Funkstown? In my mind, in my mind, Smithsburg and Boonesboro are probably doing pretty good on their own because of proximity and their relative ease of access to 70, and the fact that they're closer to their east. Hancock, I think Hancock's got some real possibilities coming up here. I think this new young man that joined the county commission, who is from Western Maryland, I think is going to do a lot and keep Hancock in the forefront. Williamsport, we've got some building going on there. We've
down
got
at the Cushwa Basin.
Yeah, we've got some major stuff going on there. So, and regardless of all that, I mean, the reality is Hagerstown is the city, is the seat of the county.
The heart.
And the reality is, when somebody looks up Washington County, the image they're going to first see on Google Maps is probably downtown Hagerstown. And what do we want that image to be?
Exactly.
I agree.
So, all right, moving on. Up next, our panel weighs in on the local school board election. Stay tuned.